Yes, Brad is going to be on the episode, but damn it, Janet, you're not the other guest.
Play our favorite game. Which one of these people has fronted a punk metal band, and which one of these people has run marathons?
Uh, well, considering that she's got the skull in the background there, I'm gonna
It
go
is a
with
horror podcast. Let's to
marathoning
be
for
fair.
Renee and punk metal for Brad.
Yeah, I think you're wrong.
What am I funny? What am I gonna do?
Uh, I confess to running marathons, which is pretty much that's all I need to say about that. Punk metal seems much more interesting to me.
Okay, so we'll give you a second chance, John. Which one has been a professional grave digger?
All right, that's definitely Renee because that's where she got that skull from. That's the sort of thing you pick up and
Yes.
say, that would look awesome on my desk at home. So I'm saying, why not?
Assume it's Yorick's brother, right?
Or maybe I hang around graveyards too much. I don't know.
So professional grave digger. I understand it is a
Is that a
profession. I've actually
profession?
met
Do you go to
people who
school
do
for
that,
that? Is
but
there a license for it? I don't
yeah.
know. Is there a club? Do you guys have secret handshakes? Tell me everything.
What's this for gravediggers?
Yes.
Nah, we just
Oh my
clean
God,
shovels.
that's awesome.
You know?
Is it with hand tools or I would assume it's mechanized mostly now, right? Did you like use it? Oh,
Well, we'd have to start off with hand tools because we have to cut the grass and save the chunks of grass and try to piece it back together after so it doesn't look like there's a grave there at all. Um, and yeah, I mean the bulk of it's done with I just live in a small town. Work for a small town cemetery. So we had like a backhoe excavator combo.
right.
But I was the only girl that worked there, and the millionaire boss man wouldn't let the girl, use heavy machinery. So I wielded the shovel, which I like to whack him upside the head with, but no, I'm not violent at all. I just write about it. But yeah, but then when you have to shape the hole, you have to get in and you have to use a shovel. You have to shape it for the cement vault because if rocks are sticking out or if it's not shaped right, then they're gonna try to lower this big vault in there. It's just not gonna work right. So yeah, there's kind of an art to it.
Is there an actual regulation that says you have to go down 6 feet? I mean, are you breaking a rule if it's only 5 or if it's
No.
7 feet or something like that?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm 5'2", so yeah, the holes weren't 6 feet deep.
Okay.
But no, you don't have to go down 6 feet deep. I think we went down, I don't know, maybe. I mean, my head still stuck out of the grave, so when I was all done, and my head still stuck up, at least above the, you know. Sometimes my supervisor would have to give me haul me out though.
I actually did some research on that for my book, and the depth is to keep bodies from attracting animals and digging them up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, if they're in the cement vault, though, they can't get to them in the vault. But yeah, back in the day, also, like in the old section of the cemetery, long before they put the cement vaults in and then put the caskets in the vaults, I mean, a lot of them would be pine boxes. And if it wasn't deep enough, then it would cave in, if people walk over it or if you go over it with a mower or whatever. So you'd have cave-ins and then it would sink. And I mean, you don't really want that happening to your loved one. I mean, even though they're not there anymore, but I mean, depending on
I don't want it to happen to me. I don't want to fall into
Hey, we all end up worm food in the end anyway. So back to the
Here's a
earth.
fun fact. Here's a fun fact of mine. I live in Queens, New York. New York is organized into five counties, and we call them boroughs. So Queens was the first one settled when folks from overseas came over here, and it was still New Amsterdam. So we have per capita the most amount of cemeteries in the entire city.
Oh
So
wow.
most of the cemeteries you're going to find in New York City are in Queens. So I live
Interesting.
surrounded by the dead. And one of the
Oh,
reasons that we bought the house, this house, is because there is a cemetery on the next block over. And we figured those are the best possible neighbors. So
right.
because they're surrounded by a giant fence, we know who they are. They're in their stuff. We're in our stuff. We're good.
Yeah. No noise complaints.
Well, not yet. Okay. Brad, talk about marathons.
Well,
Do you want a little? How long has this been going on?
they've been going on since 2001. And I was never a runner. I hated running in high school, even when I played sports, did not want to run. But I was a film and video editor, which is mostly sitting around doing nothing. And I looked down at my stomach once and said, I'm going to take my dog for a run tomorrow. And it just started sort of from there. And I ran my first marathon, and about halfway through, I said, I wonder when I can sign up for the next one. Next one was Philadelphia in the fall, and then the year after I did LA and New York.
Nice.
And for a long time I did two every year, and to a total of 43. They're getting, I think they're making them longer because it takes me more time to finish them.
Yeah. New York and the LA ones, those are no joke. You actually have to apply to get into that. You can't just show up one day.
Yeah. New York, I was lucky. I got in on the lottery the first time.
Yeah.
LA, basically, you just have to sign up early enough. I was never fast enough to do Boston, although, that would be fun. But I've done Toronto, I've done Portland, Las Vegas a number of times, San Diego, Long Beach, San Francisco, which is very hilly. The last time I did it, I swore I'd never do it again, but some of my running buddies might want to talk me into doing another one. Anyway, so I've done, this is, I know this is bragging, and then I'll stop. The year I turned 60, I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, I did 6 marathons.
Whoa.
Wow.
And I called it my daughter to daughter series because I started in Portland, where one daughter was going to school at Reed, and my last one at the end of the year was in Toronto, where my other daughter was going to school. So
Nice.
that was that, and I still run. Keeps me healthy.
So, what exactly made you flee the first one and head toward the second one? What's the relationship there?
The relationship was, well, basically two things happen when you run your first marathon. It's either I'm never going to run another marathon again, ever, or I wonder when I can do another one. So I was starting to feel pretty good about halfway through and thinking, you know what, I want to do another one. And I know there's one in Philadelphia where I'm from. My family, is back there. I have friends. In fact, my roommate in college is back there. He was a marathoner who actually, placed in small marathons. He could finish like in the top 3. He was a cross country runner when we were in college, and I always made fun of him because I said that's a stupid thing to do. So I told him I was running the Philadelphia Marathon, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna get in shape and run with you. And I thought, oh, this is not going to go well. He's either going to like just hang back with me and make fun of me and yell at me the whole time, or he's just going to leave me and then ridicule me when I get there. Well, it turned out he did not train well, and he was not able to get in. So, I mean, should I say Schadenfreude? No, I won't say that.
Yeah. Can we pivot you to talking about the video editing? Because that was kind of interesting.
What was that again?
The trailers that you've done, the video editing.
Oh yeah. So, well, the first trailer I did was The Right Stuff. So I've been doing it for a while. But even before I started editing, I worked on a small horror film called Clonus, or the Clonus Horror, which ended
Oh,
up
God, I remember that.
yeah, Theater 2000. So I was the assistant cameraman and then the assistant editor, which is a very odd thing to do. Then after that, I did get into trailers. I worked on the really awful version of Godzilla in 1998. I did the first Tremors. I cut the teaser for that. No, it was the trailer. Sorry. A couple. I'm trying to think of what other horror-related things. I should have written this down because I knew it would come up. I did Groundhog Day, which is not really horror, but it is, Twilight Zone-ish. I did,
Depends
You
on your
just have to
opinion
do
of
the same
Marvel.
trailer over and over for that one.
yeah. I didn't do the trailer. I did TV spots for that. And I'm trying to think what else. I've done a lot. I'm just trying to. Well, I mean, I've done the right stuff. I've worked on Amadeus, worked on ET, but only as an assistant editor. More recently, I did Shrek. I did a lot of Trailer Park Boys, which is very weird at my age to be. I was the go-to guy for stoner humor. Uh, I don't know what that tells you about me, but anyway, that's I've worked in film, video, and then not, and then computers. And I was a producer and creative director. And all that stuff.
Just
Oh,
out of curiosity, film trailers, we know what they're for, so you can actually get an idea of what the film's about.
right.
Do you have an opinion on book trailers? Because I know a lot of people that swear by them, but I've never really understood what the point of that was.
I
Because
don't, because I was never the marketing person. I was just the creative person. It's like just let me do what I think is good, and then tell me how stupid I am for having done it. Clients love to tell you you're wrong, and but I enjoyed the creative process and all of the stuff with marketing and numbers, where the real money is. I avoid it. Anyway, so I don't know. I've read, different opinions on book trailers. Some people think they're great. Other people said that they've had no traction with it, or their agents tell them it's a waste of time. And I'm not sure. I mean, uh, the publishing business is a little stodgy, so I'm just wondering if that's people going, "Oh, we don't understand that, so we're not going to support it."
yeah,
I mean, I haven't put my own time. I mean, I haven't bothered to make a book trailer. I thought about it, and then never got around to it.
yeah. My co-author for the latest series I did, which is a straight space opera, believes in book trailers. Loaded one up to Amazon, so it's on the book page, and it's okay. I don't know if it's actually boosting sales at all. I've
Right. I
got
was
no way of measuring.
way he can track it to see if when it goes up to sales spike.
She's got the tracking tools because the imprint is under her name.
Oh, right.
So we talk about this all the time, but yeah, I don't know. It's the first thing I've ever done that had a book trailer attached to it. So if I have nothing to compare it to. Because
Right.
my previous series did not have book trailers attached to them.
No, I
So
mean,
it's an experiment.
I had somebody suggested I do a rip-o-matic, a fake trailer to try and sell the book to agents and publishers. And then when I did get an agent, he said, "No, that's a waste of time. Don't do it." He didn't sell my book, so what does he know?
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, Renee, I want to ask you about the music.
Yeah, go ahead. What about it?
Are you playing currently? Do you guys have gigs coming up? Do you do?
We just got a new drummer this year. So we're
Last
trying to
one
get
spontaneously
we're trying
human
to get him to
combusted,
learn all
or
the tunes. What's that?
is it last one
What did you
spontaneously
say?
human combusted? I'm sorry, I'm a Spinal Tap fan. My reaction was the last one spontaneously combusted.
No, but we're not playing gigs right now because we just got a new drummer, so we're trying to get him up to speed on all the tunes and stuff. And we got just enough songs for a set list because we're an all original band. We don't do, I mean, we throw in a couple covers, but we're all an all original band. So we got enough tunes for like a short set, but not a full hour set. But once he gets up to speed, yeah, we're hoping we got a couple buddies that have home studios. So we want to get our demo recorded and get out there. So hopefully, because our drummer's freaking phenomenal. He's jazz trained, so he's really good.
That's
So
terrific.
hopefully
And
soon.
you sing, play instruments. What's your role in
Yeah,
all
I
this?
am the lead singer, and I'm the main songwriter. But now with we also have a new lead guitar player, though he's been with us longer than the drummer. and our new lead guitar player also does some writing too. So that's really great because getting different ideas really, helps change up the whole vibe of the songs and stuff. And so yeah, I sing, I'm the lead songwriter, and I also play rhythm guitar.
Oh, very, very cool.
Yeah.
So,
Got a favorite song?
Oh.
Yours or
favorite
someone
song
else's?
that we do?
No,
Yeah.
yours or
I
someone
can't pick
else's.
a favorite. That's crazy. I got a bunch of favorites. I mean, I can't pick one favorite. That's like asking an author, like who's your favorite author or what's your favorite book? I don't know. Like, I have some favorite bands. I mean, like I love Tool. I love 46 and 2. That's a great tune. I'm a huge Soundgarden fan, but I can't pick a favorite. I love so many of their songs. I love Faith No More, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. Pretty awesome, but not those aren't my like ultimate favorites. I like so much.
I just discovered a band called Deerhoof, so I'm listening to all their stuff on Spotify.
What are
Very,
they
very
called?
weird. Deerhoof.
Ear hoof.
Deer, as in the animal.
Oh, deer. I'm like ear hoof. Wow, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm really unconventional in my musical tastes, and I'm really eclectic. So I've got bits and pieces from everything. I listen to a lot of overseas songs.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about my K-pop or my J-pop addiction, but that's another story. I just like I need weird stuff. Rat scratches, rasps, screams in the night. So,
That's
and then on
cool.
the other hand, we've got tickets to see the B-52s and Devo in a couple of weeks at Jones Beach. So that should be fun.
Well, one of our covers we do a Primus tune. You like Primus?
Oh, cool. Totally.
Yeah, we do.
All I know about Primus is that they did the tune for South Park, and that's about it. They're not one of my. I know who they are. They're not one of my huge, draws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said eclectic and kind of out there, and so Primus.
Not so much now. They've been out for a while.
Yeah.
can we maybe hear a couple of bars or something?
A couple bars of something. What do you mean?
Of something.
Of one of our songs?
Sing.
Yes.
We have a
Sing?
sing-along. Sing. On the
Gosh,
spot in a seated position. Yeah.
I gotta think of something to sing. I got no music behind me. I just let me grab my song list, I guess.
Sure.
Can you give me a second?
Yep. Meanwhile, Brad, you had a story about a neighbor you wanted to tell?
This story about a neighbor. Yeah, when I first moved to the suburbs, I was 5, and there was this kid sitting on my porch because my parents had moved there the day before and had told our neighbors next door and across the street who had kids my age that I was coming. Well, that young lad's name was John Frater, spelled with an H. And so when I started connecting with you guys, I thought, well, anybody who's got the same last name, you ask, like, if somebody had a name Goldberg, it's like, yeah, there are a billion Goldbergs. But I thought, yeah, I'll take a chance. And it turned out that John Frater, I can't remember it is you are related, and I can't remember the exact connection.
Okay. John is Fred Frater's son.
Right.
Fred is my grandfather Hal's half brother.
Ah, okay. All right.
Different mothers.
So could you remember that?
Wow. So anyway, yeah, I spent a lot of time hanging out with John and Fred, who was an amazing photographer. He was a photographer with the Allies when they liberated the camps. So at a very tender age, I was seeing the pictures that he was developing and enlarging of concentration camps, which and I think that John actually, like in third or fourth grade, brought them in for show and tell.
Wow.
When I hear people worrying about kids' sensibilities, I think about that and go, hey, they'll get over it.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of kids horror authors who keep saying kids are a lot more resilient than you think, and they're a lot more open than you think,
Yeah,
and you can actually go a little harder on the horror than most people think. And once you get in that environment, you realize that kids really are a little different than the image of who we think we're protecting.
right. Yeah.
Stephen King was very specific in the first chapters of It by absolutely declaring that children in America live swathed in a violent environment that no one really acknowledges, including them. It's just part of what growing up is like.
No, no.
Because every family's got issues, and there's always wars between this bunch of kids and that bunch of kids. It gets insane. Yeah. Now my favorite of Fred's old photographs was taken in the Russian Quarter in Berlin after World War II, and it's him and a bunch of Siberian dudes from the Red Army, and they're all sitting on a T-34 tank, and they're all just smiling. Just guys who just happen to be out for for a patrol or whatever, just hanging out and exchanging stories. He didn't talk about that very much. If you asked him a question, he would answer it for you, and he had a collection of things that he had picked up during his time in the service. Um, and he was a fascinating guy to talk to in terms of that. His big boast was that by the end of the war, he had 2 overcoats to his name,
Ah,
because that was considered the sign of a really wealthy officer, a guy who had 2 overcoats, because a lot of the troops had gone through a lot of their stuff and supplies were tight. And if you had 1 overcoat, you were considered in very good position, because European winters are awesomely terrible sometimes, especially back then. So
so these were overcoats he actually bought, not ones that he had taken off dead enemy soldiers.
I honestly don't
That's
know.
what I
You
thought.
never
Yes.
knew if he was telling the right, if he was saying it or not. he, he had a way of exaggerating things at the same time, so you never really knew.
He was very. I was saying earlier, I think before we started, that he was very generous with his knowledge of
Yeah.
photography. He actually showed, because for a while I was, printing and developing film and printing pictures, and he gave me a lot of instruction on how to do it. It was very.
Mm.
I want to say he took me into a dark room, but that not the connotations
That's a different story.
that's a difference. No, he did show me a lot about photography. Very nice.
Renee is back.
One more time. I'm sorry.
Back. Renee is back.
Yeah, there we go. She's going to sing.
It's funny because I was looking at my song list, and actually what I was going to read from the book has some of my song lyrics in it that I sing too, but I don't mind singing like a verse or something from one of my other tunes though. Well, not my other tunes, the band.
We could jump into reading and you could do it that way. That could definitely happen.
Whatever you want me to do, I don't care. Whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, hang on a second. This isn't doing the thing it's supposed to do. I have to hide everybody individually. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, I'm going to read a little excerpt from my newest release called Try Not to Die by Your Own Hand. It just came out on September 10th on World Suicide Prevention Day. And I'm going to start right from page 1, read a little bit. So here we go. Our band's last song wails and thunders across the fog-filled venue. The crowd jumps and thrashes against one another. I step up to the mic, spotlight hot against my skin, and belt out the second verse. Sinking lower, they're dragging you down. Parallel plane, disappear in the dark. Change confine you, constricting movement, stealing your breath, silencing all your words. Now stagnation threatens to bloom as the flames lick at every inch of your skin. Are you content to crawl with vermin, the bottom feeders? Are you happy where you're at? Just as we're about to launch into the chorus, I peer over the audience, trying to see if Beth showed up. She looks like a no-show, but there's a tall, burly, hooded figure standing in the back corner, sweatshirt zipped all the way up to their neck, alone, not moving, just staring. Did we attract an A&R rep to our gig? We have been playing a ton of shows lately. Maybe word get out we've been attracting some big crowds. I hope it's a recruiter of some sort. That must be why the person came alone. That must be why their hands are empty, no drink. That must be why they don't join in with the jumping and moshing. Mike tears into his guitar solo. I step back from the mic, glance over at Ronnie on bass. Curiosity paints his face as he looks from the hood in the corner to me. I try to stay focused on playing guitar, but memories flash through my mind. Aiden backhands me, shoves me into the dugout hideaway escape hatch under his trailer, and locks the trap door above my head. Cuffed to the bedpost, tears stream down my temples as Aiden, with a knife held to my throat, straddles me while professing his undying love and tearing off my shirt. Above the bed, his graffiti art of me as an angel, surrounded by roses and skulls, stares back at me in violet, black, and crimson with drips like blood. Pointy knife-like lettering arches over the top of it. Angel baby. I try to pretend I'm somewhere else, somewhere peaceful. With a few whips of my long hair, I headbang the horrors out of my thoughts. Turning back to the audience, I watch for the cue from our drummer Kyle. Right after our synchronized stop, I spin back toward the mic and belt out the final chorus. Shivers run through me as I sing. The hooded figure remains still, staring. A sinking sensation hits me. I can't help but feel like I'm the one he's staring at. Our set ends. The audience goes nuts. Mike's best bud Wally jumps on stage to help break down our gear so we can clear the stage for the last band to set up. We head to the bar. The 3 drinks I had before our set make me trip as I walk up the steps leading to the pool table and bar area. I grab the railing, steady myself. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the hood slowly swivel, following my every move. Stay with your people. Don't go anywhere alone. I bend down to adjust my pant leg, making sure my throwing knife's in place and at the ready. For some reason, the hope of an A&R scout checking out our band has shifted and twisted into nothing I want to consider. At the top of the stairs, I see Jen, lead singer from the opening band Blood Rain. Hell yeah, here comes the growler. We high-five. I still can't believe that big voice comes out of such a little lady. Gordon, Jen's lead guitarist, spiked bracelet around his wrist, throws me the metal horns. I glance around, look over each shoulder, then turn back toward them. What? Where's this lady you're talking about? They laugh. I smirk and walk over to the guys at the bar. Harry, the bartender, already has my margarita waiting for me. I plop my ass on the stool between Mike and Ronnie and take a refreshing sip. With the cool glass against my lips and the tangy libation filling my mouth, I glance over to the corner of the mosh floor. The hood's now watching the bar, face masked in shadow. Reddish auburn hair hanging down to their burly chest. That final detail evaded my perception while on stage. Now, I don't need to see their face to know who it is. My muscles tense. I take another sip and wash it away.
Hi, very nice.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about what got you to write this. I mean, obviously your involvement in music is a piece of that, but what was the inspiration for the story?
Well, I was invited to write this book. It's in the Try Not to Die series. It's book 19 in the series. And they are, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they are normally they're a like choose your own adventure type of thing. Well, we're not supposed to use choose your own adventure, but you know those choose your own adventure books, kids books. It's that kind of idea. But with this book, rather than fun adventurous deaths, you know, with like mishaps and whatnot, this one is about suicide ideation. So
Yeah.
it's up to the reader to make all the right choices for the main character, to make sure that she doesn't commit suicide. And it's a charity novel, so all profit from sales of the book are being donated to the Maine's mobile crisis hotline run by the Opportunity Alliance. So we did this, the publisher and I, Mark Tullius, did this as a kind of a way to give back, because we both have lost loved ones to suicide. And we both dealt with suicide ideation in our past. So we just felt like we wanted to do something to help. And when Mark invited me to write it, it's weird because he invited me to write it 2 months after I lost a really close friend to suicide. So, and I wasn't there for him in the end. He had moved away. We hadn't seen him in quite a few years. So it was a real shock. And like I said, I wasn't there for him. So when Mark invited me, I was like, hell yeah, yes, I'll do it. So it's not the typical horror of the other Try Not to Die books in the series, but we still felt it was important to include.
Yeah, it's a very important topic. It's something that is becoming more and more of an issue nowadays. Also, as tensions ramp up and things ramp up, it's a hard thing.
It is, yes, very much so.
Good that you guys are doing that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been hard to write so soon after you lost him.
Yeah, it was very hard to write. Yeah. I also, it's inspired by a lot of real events that have happened in my life. So that was hard too. So, but I felt like I kind of had to. I felt like I had to pull from personal experiences because, you know, I've been in the chair opposite of a counselor many times throughout my life, and it's hard to talk about difficult things you've been through with someone that's never dealt with any hardship or has never been there, you know. So yeah, I wanted it to be as authentic as I could make it, but it's still fictional. It's not an autobiography or anything. So
Except for the music part.
yeah, actually, those are real lyrics. We don't do that song anymore though, but I want to put the lyrics into another song. So because the music was written by our old guitar player, so we just didn't feel right using the music. So I'm like, well, I did the lyrics. I'm keeping the lyrics. We'll put them in another song. And they just happened to fit with the story. So I'm like, oh, perfect.
So was this literally your first time writing, or we've been writing for a while?
Oh, this is my third book. Yeah, my first book was the Bone Cutters. That's a horror novella, and that's book 1 in the Bone Cutter series. And the second book in the series is called Chisel the Bone. That came out last July 23rd last year. And I'm currently working on book 3. And I just submitted another novel, like, I don't know, like a week or 2 ago. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that'll come out soon too. Well, maybe not soon, but we all know how this goes.
Yeah.
Take me forever just to hear the decision.
We
Hopefully I'm not
had
jinxing
somebody on the
myself announcing
show-
it right now.
Yeah, we had somebody on the show who talked about 1,200 rejections that she had had personally. Yeah. The business can get
Yeah,
that way.
actually another writer friend of mine, actually when I was in the beginning stages before I got my first book accepted, she would celebrate all her rejections, like, because she's like, that means I'm trying. Like she would
Yep.
just talk about all her rejections. And she's a very well published author now. And that inspired me, you know? So it's like if you're not getting rejections, then you're not trying. you know,
Absolutely.
if you don't submit, you don't get rejected. So it's kind of a
I
cool
always
way to
tell
look at
people
it.
I fail more before 9 a.m. than most people fail all day. It's a lifestyle choice.
Saying gray, then you take the rest of the day off, right?
There you go. So I think we should let Brad do a little bit of a reading. We kick everybody
Yep.
else off.
All right, I'm going to do a little bit of a setup here. The world that the first person narrator is in is infested with both zombies and vampires. He's searching the basement of the building he's holed up in because he heard stuff down there, and he's pretty sure he's going to come face to face with one of them. And just a little thing, since it's first person, he doesn't know if anybody's ever going to hear his words. He makes up things and he calls zombies corpses. So when you hear that, that's his own too cute word for it. If she had been standing up, I would have shot her out of terror-stricken reflex. My gun barrel is aimed about chest high, and that's where all my focus is. Fortunately, she is trembling on the floor in the far corner of the row. Having to look down gives me a millisecond before I spray the room with bullets to realize that this is a little girl. She's not a corpsey little girl. She's not a blood-sucking V little girl. She's just a little girl, about 10, sobbing on the floor, on the dusty concrete, looking at me through tears, knowing that I'm going to kill her because I just shouted it from the stairs. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. I think I mean it. My heart is still pounding in my throat. Adrenaline has me keyed for action, and I can feel my temples pulsing. But I think I've calmed down enough to know I don't need to shoot a 10-year-old girl. You said you were going to blast me. I thought you were someone else, something else. You thought I was one of them? And then she starts to cry. I don't know how long she's been down here, but I know she's been scared to death of me for the last half hour. Me. I'm the bringer of death. Yeah, I thought you were one of them, but you're not, so it's okay. I doubt if she heard me very well because I've never heard anyone cry like that. She must have been letting out everything she's been feeling since this crap started. Here's the picture. I'm holding a semi-automatic weapon. I've got Glocks strapped to both thighs and a third Glock holstered in the middle of my lower back. I've got a military-looking backpack filled with survival gear, and I'm carrying tons of tools made for killing. I haven't bathed or shaved in months, and I'm trying to comfort a little girl who's scared to death, mostly of me. She's sitting in the corner, clutching her knees with her face buried in her arms. She's got on knee-length shorts that hang halfway down her calves. They may have been khaki once. Now they're a dingy gray, like almost everything else that used to be colorful. Her t-shirt has some fantasy scene on it. Maybe a unicorn, maybe butterflies, maybe last night's dinner. Hard to tell. I kneel, and she pushes harder into the corner. Honey, it's going to be all right, I lie. I didn't believe that, even when life was normal. I certainly don't now. I just pull her to me and hug her as tight as I can. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. It's okay. She's sobbing again. I can feel her relax and let me hug her. Oh my God, another human being. I'm holding another living human being. I can feel her heart beating. I can hear her sobs. I can feel her breath coming in gulps and spurts as she tries to get control of herself. And I can feel how hot the tears of a terrified little girl can be. You hungry? I have some Pop-Tarts. No, you don't. You're lying. I do. I found them today. I lead her back up the stairs. We have to go up a lot of stairs, but then we can eat. As we get to the landing, she pulls on my arm. What flavor Pop-Tarts? Getting her up to the 12th floor had turned into an ordeal. As we walked up from the building's lobby, it seemed like she was okay at first, but she sure wouldn't answer any questions like, what's your name? I thought it was just fear that kept her quiet. She kept looking up the stairs, which seemed odd. I kept looking back. The real danger was below us. You don't have to tell me your name if you don't want to. Mine's Kyle. Everybody calls me Kai. She didn't respond, but I was just trying to keep her distracted. Every floor we went up, she got more reluctant. We were just about to start up the stairs from the 8th floor to 9 when she started to whimper. and pull away like she wanted to go back down. It's okay, it's safe, I've checked. But she kept looking up at me with horror in her eyes. She was pulling hard to get her arm loose when I realized in one sickening rush why she was overwhelmed by panic. The face looking up at me, pleading to let her go, was the girl I saw in a locket last night. A few years older, but undoubtedly the same girl. Just a few stories up, her mother lay chained in a bathroom. Her brains had been smashed all over the floor. The little girl didn't know that, but she knew that her mom was up there, and she probably knew what she had become. How can I explain that we're not going to the apartment where her mother died without explaining that I'm the one that killed her?
That was very powerful.
Oh, thank you. That's
I'm always very fond of that hero to,
That was
oh,
some heavy
wait.
shit, man.
Thanks. I was trying to follow several talking at once. I'm not sure what to respond to.
Yeah. No, anytime I can manage to pull off anything that's even vaguely like what you just did there, I consider myself very happy with what I've written.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's always lovely when you can bring the audience completely in one direction and then with one sentence turn them the other direction.
That's well. I mean,
I really loved the detail of her hot tears. I don't know why, but that detail I thought that was a really powerful detail.
Thank you. One of the things I was trying to get at was it's very minute by minute because it's the first person, real time, present tense discussion, and so it's like when I'm writing it, I have to be in the scene and like feeling whatever Kyle is feeling and seeing. So it was some days I was not a really happy person at the end because
I bet.
put myself through what he's going through. But thank you. I appreciate all the kind words. Really gratifying.
So, Brad, what do you have coming up next?
Well, this is from the first book, book one of Z versus V. Book two just came out. And if anybody out there has read book one, I promise you, book two has even more excitement because it was all written as one story. So everything was building up to the things that happened in the second half. I'm working on another novel, which is not anything to do with this genre. It's historic fiction, and it involves Theodore Roosevelt when he was police commissioner in New York City, and Nellie Bly, who at the time was the most famous investigative reporter in the world. And in real life, they never met. So I decided to devise a series of gruesome murders that forced them to work together to solve. And I'm basically doing the last draft after having had my beta readers go over it and hope to be sending it out to agents next month.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, Renee, what have you got coming?
Me?
Yep.
Who are you talking to?
I am.
What do I have
you.
coming next?
Yep.
No, I don't have anything planned right now. This book just came out, and I just subbed another novel, so I have to like hurry up and wait. So we'll see. And that, I mean, and the publisher said too, if it's accepted, it wouldn't come out till 2027. So
Right.
we'll see. Yeah.
This is one of the reasons I write a lot.
I don't
of
really
short
like to give too much.
I've got stuff out.
What's that?
I was saying this is one of the reasons I write a lot of short stories, so I always have something coming out.
I have a question for you guys. I struggle more with short stories than I do novels. Is that like weird? I've heard some writers say if you can't write a good short story, then you can't write a good novel. And I'm like, I hear Grady Hendrix say all the time that he can't write a short story to save his fucking life, and he's doing very well.
If it's any consolation, when I first started this about 10 years ago, I cranked out a ton of short stories, like a bunch of them, and I placed most of them. and I haven't written a short story in almost 3 years. But I've done a lot of long form work of novels, novellas, and the the 3 book series I just dropped started off as a short story. I submitted it to a military fiction anthology, and because I knew the editor, and the editor rejected it for various reasons, but he said there's absolutely a lot you can do with this, and I guarantee you can do something with it. And it's true. And but the thing is, for me to do what I thought was to do it, what it deserved, I had to turn it into a $300,000 word series. So I got 3 books written in 9 months. It's the same story. I'm
Oh
very
wow.
happy with it. And,
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
I drop me on the track and I just race for the finish line. I don't. I find short stories, when I get them done, I'm very happy, but it's not how I generally apply myself.
So
Hmm.
my
So
answer to you would
I
be that
hope that helps.
I think everyone has a home length. I've met people that write novels very well. They can't write in other lengths. I've met people who write novellas very well. People write short stories. Some people write tons of flash fiction but can't make it all the way up to the word count of a short story.
Mm.
Um, the first time I had the opportunity to submit a novel, I wrote what they call a picaresque novel, which is the way Huck Finn was written, where it's each chapter is almost its own short story because I did not know how to do long form. Um, Unsurprisingly, did not get picked up. But the thing that I would tell you is that I always stretch, and I would recommend you stretch whatever you find is your least favorite length. Play with it a little bit because it'll make you more comfortable with your favorite length, and it may also produce other work that you've got.
Yeah,
You
another
sound,
thing
Uh,
I have. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you sound like a running coach.
I do write short stories, but I don't know. It's weird because when I first started taking my writing seriously, I was always focusing on short stories and mostly reading short stories, and writing a novel scared the living shit out of me. But my short stories, when I write them, they tend to be long. They're up like they're always 6,000, 7,000, 7,500 words. And I just like character development. I like my characters that I create, and I think that's where it tends to like bulk it up. I don't know. And now I'm more of a novel person. I read more novels than I read short stories. And I'll grab anthologies, I'll read a handful of stories, and then I toss the book aside and I grab a novel, and I'll go back to the anthology at some point. But I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, I think that's right. I think I need to practice. I don't know, but then I'm not creating a book. I don't know. It feels good to hold a book in your hand that you
so
wrote.
Mhm.
you know?
you
I don't
you
know.
can do both. You
Yeah,
can
true.
do both. Yeah.
It's tough when you have limited time to write, you know what I mean? And I can't work on well, I say I can't work on more than one project at a time, but I did it this year. I wrote 2 books this year and
And
went
songs.
absolutely in fucking sane trying to do it. Almost lost my mind trying to keep on track for 2 different books, but it's hard for me to be working on 2 different stories with different characters. And I don't know. I'm an editor too, though. So I edit for 2 different publishers. So I'm constantly editing other people's stuff. And then if I'm working on then I'm going to have like 4 stories in my brain. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's muscle. If you really want to, you build it up. It's almost like marathon running.
There you go.
And on that note, we're
Mm.
going to call this one because we're recording another episode in 30 minutes and we need to set up for that.
Okay.
So thank
Yeah.
you guys very much for being here. And we will toss it over to our MC. Oh, Danny.
And that's our show. If you are horror adjacent in books, comics, film, streaming, and want to be on the Horror Words podcast, email drownedrat@horrorwords.com. Good night.